Hi everybody, here again on another visit in Shropshire today at Michael Lovelock's. He's built a new loft. He's got rid of his shed, his old young bird shed. Got a fancy new loft to look at, so we'll look at his lofts, look at his pigeons, and again talk about his results, which for a small back garden loft, as you'll see, really you'll struggle to find any better for a small loft. Certainly I don't know many back garden lofts with these results, and only sending a few pigeons. So Michael Lovelock.
Most of the pigeons in here are down from my camp pigeons, with the exception of 2 or 3. Basically Leo Hermans, plus Stefan Lambrecht and a couple of Van Loons. This checker cock is out of a line bred to Jack Potter Leo Hermans. He's already bred a fed winner for me. This blue cock is of the Rossi line. Again, this is one of my own now, out of my original pigeons. He bred a fed winner for me last year. This is a youngster that's going in the sale, which is out of the DiCaprio hen, and this, where is he? He's under there. There's a cock here somewhere. That cock there he's bred some decent pigeons as well. He's a Van Loon cross with a Leo Hermans.
That checker there.
Yeah. There's Henk, this cock here on the floor. That's his son there, which is going in the sale, this white Floyden. The last time he bred white Floydens, one was a British Barcelona winner, 4 years national, and the other hen was a 3 first prize, but the hawk killed it.
So a lot of pigeons are higher camp pigeons, or most of them.
Yeah,
Michael.
There's 2 cocks in here from Deb de Ruyter.
Yeah.
But what I do is I pair them to higher camp pigeons, because de Ruyter's pigeons have done alright when we went crossed with higher camp pigeons.
Yeah.
Because you've always got to look for something. I mean, that cock there is out of Golden Rossi of de Ruyter's. Now, his children, when he's been paired to a higher camp Van Loon, and at the moment I've got 3 sons of him.
Yeah.
Which the one cock's had 2 first feds, the other cock, his brother, has had first club, 2nd Shropshire fed this year, first club, 3rd Gloucester fed this year. His daughter was, last year was 10th, no sorry, in 21 was 10th young bird section, 107th open, something like that, when I won the young bird national with a daughter of that checker cock there. Now this is the father of Little Faith, the 21 young bird national winner. He's from de Ruyter's, and he's was paired to an higher camp hen, which I've bred myself out of 2 higher camp, which is a daughter of Henk.
Yeah.
But we'll show you Henk in a minute. But still here, I've still got children off him in there from this year. So we'll wait and see what happens next year, basically. You want to have a look at
Yeah. So another higher camp pigeon.
This is de Ruyter's.
De Ruyter's pigeon, sorry, get mixed up.
Leo Hermans.
And he's the sire to First National Flying Club. Michael just said he's not much to look at, but his breeding and what he has bred,
Yeah.
are doing business. What year is he? Oh, he's only a young pigeon really, 19 pigeon. Shandel's a bit like him as well, wasn't she?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So he's a direct de Reuters, father of First National Flying Club. How many pair of breeders have you got, Michael?
12 now.
12.
Well, there'll be 14 because I'm going to put 2 of my race cocks into there, which are, I'll show you in a minute.
Yeah. So he's retiring 2, so he'll have 14 pair. And that's the kind of quality we've got. We'll show you the main breeders. He's a lovely pigeon, strong pigeon. Sire of First National Flying Club, direct de Reuters. What's this, Michael?
This is what I call my golden Rossi. He's from de Reuters again. But he's always paired to the daughter from a pigeon called Eva from Higher Camps, and she was first open Borges, 6,000 odd pigeons, as a pair, which they were only put together in 2021. Up to now I've got, in my race team, which is not very big, I've got 4 sons, and they've all been in the first 2 or 3 in the federation. In fact, the one cock's had 2 first feds this year. The brother to him was second Gloucester fed, sorry, Shropshire fed, and then third Gloucester fed the following week, obviously first club. The other son, which is from last year, unofficially he's the coefficient
Yeah.
best pigeon in the federation this year, old bird. So, and as I say, he's a lovely pigeon, I like him, and he's actually, his children are starting to breed with us now as well.
Yeah, first ace, unofficial ace records. What I think it's Wayne? Is it Wayne Jones?
Yeah.
Does them for the Fed. So again, last year you absolutely littered them ace pigeon results. First, second, third ace young birds, absolutely destroyed them. But this year, first ace sprint pigeon in Fed again. It's from this. Pat'd like the eyeball on that one too.
Yeah.
Golden Rossi, or your Golden Rossi.
My golden Rossi.
My Golden Rossi.
Yeah, but he is a starting golden Rossi.
Yeah, he's a nice cock, this. Breeding goods, including first ace sprint pigeon in Fed. Real quality. Small loft, but the quality is fantastic. Right, go on then.
Well, this is Henk. So called after Henk Jurians from Higher Camps because he was one of the pigeons that Henk sent over to me as a gift. And what a gift. He's father of Pam, the pigeon that won the first Open 4 years in the British Barcelona Club. He's grandfather of Little Faith, first Open Young Bird National 2021. And his children, when crossed with the Golden Rossi cock, which are now in the race team, are starting to breed winners. Which I'll show you a grandson of him. He's had 2 first this year as a young bird. But he's a lovely pigeon, nice shape for me. I'm not an expert on pigeons, so don't get me wrong like that.
You're not bad.
But I mean, for me, he's just magic. And if you want to have a feel of him, you can do.
He is. I've handled him a few times, haven't I? But what year are we on now? What is it?
2016.
I think it's 16, yeah. Shit taste, sorry.
Oh yeah, it's alright.
What are you feeding him?
Chicken pellets.
Yeah, he is. He's a beauty. So calming and just sits there. Lovely body. And I'm not an expert on eyesight and all these fads, but I know Pat, when he came down, Pat Halliwell, they were wetting his pants a bit, weren't they? The eyeball on,
Yeah,
on him.
his
And
daughter's got a better way apparently.
daughter's got a better. I said that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Pat. Yeah, oh, he bought it, yeah.
Yeah.
Such is Michael's generosity and how he is. Pat took a liking to the daughter of Henk, which is Pam, that won the BICC for Jares first Open, and she's the mother of Little Faith.
No.
The ship.
No.
Put me right.
Pam's the winner of the BICC.
Yeah, the BICC.
His daughter is the mother of Little Faith, and not different hen.
That's
the
right.
blue hen.
And Pat took a liking to her, didn't he?
Yeah, that's all.
He took a liking to her, so before we left last time, Michael said, just give us a minute. He went down garden, come back with a box, and lent Pat that hen, the mother, to his national winner, and just said, take her for a year. You lent me an hen as well, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Slaty, direct William De Bruin hen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a corker, he's absolute belter, and you'll not be able to see it, sun's not out, but if I can just try and get you a little bit there. I don't know if you can see, but you've got a lovely eye on him. That's Henk, the main man. Fantastic pigeon. This pigeon I've got here is a Verkerk pigeon, a Michael's. Direct?
From Higher Camp.
Or via Higher Camp, but it's a Verkerk. 100% Verkerk, is he?
Yeah.
Tell me about him then, Michael.
Well, he's bred a pigeon that was first club, first fed. When the last time we flew the channel at Carrington. His one son, which is in the race team now, is very similar to him. He was me pigeon that was second section J8 Open this year from, was it Massac? I think second.
I think you were, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And his daughter, which is from last year, she was 10th section J, she was somewhere in the Open, but I can't remember what. So I've had two pigeons on the same day out of him in the first 10 in the section. So I'm quite pleased. I mean, there's a son of him in there which is called Baz. He's actually paid to Pam, my 4 years national winner in the Barcelona club. And they bred, actually, as a pair, they've already bred me a couple of winners and a pigeon for someone else to win with. So, but I quite like him. So I'm getting down now, over the last 3 or 4 years, I'm coming down to pigeons that are breeding winners and their children are breeding winners when crossed with each other.
Yeah.
So you've got your Leo Wormers, Verkerk, again, the Stepan Lambrecht pigeons as well in there, and they start to form their own family now. So.
Yeah. So you create. I noticed a few times I've been, you are creating your own family with the blood that you've mixed.
That's right.
From these.
It's the same
lines.
as all the Europeans do.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a purebred pigeon. They could be line bred, but they're not purebred as such.
The Michael Lovelock pigeons.
Well, they are now. Yeah. That's with a van in front of it. Not a bus.
Not a bus, got a van. Michael Van Lovelock.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is classy. Again, he's full of front, isn't he? He's got some right front on him. As you've seen when Claudio from Cess Farmer came down and did a little video that you can find on Cess Farmer International's page on Facebook, I know Claudio were very impressed. He's used to going to big fancy lofts, and the same weekend they came to see you, they went to Gilbert's and Roger Lowe. But I know when they came here, he said to me, you were right about his results, because he showed them all his results in the feds and everything else. And he couldn't believe, for such a small back garden setup with a few birds, the results that's been achieved. But again, like all the people, or most of the people that I work with, you ain't got a big drum that you beat yourself, have you, Michael?
What's the point?
Exactly, he's not bothered. So you can't go wrong, really. Very wide flights as well, isn't it? Very nice.
That's him.
This Czech cock always catches my eye when I visit Michael. I've handled him a few times. He's a Stefan Lambrecht via Eierkamp direct, and what a beauty he is. Again, I'm not an eye man, but He's got an eye that I like to see. So he's a Stefan Lambrecht, and he's always been paired to
A daughter of Blue DiCaprio,
DiCaprio lines.
and who is a son of DiCaprio.
And what they bred together, Michael, tell us.
Well, I've got 4 cocks off them at the moment, which
Yeah.
are all been in the first 3 in the Fed. Multiple prize winners in the club, a few prize winners, but I've put the one son in the stock loft now because he's already bred a Fed winner. He actually beat his own son to be first Fed, but his son should have been first Fed because he wouldn't come down.
So 4 in race loft at minute
Yeah.
have all done business in
And
top half, in top what you
Top
said?
3 or 4 in the
Top 3 or
federation.
4 in Fed.
And
4
his,
sons.
his one son, which is in the race team, has bred a pigeon to win for Keith Pickett this year in
Yeah.
the Maypole Club in Ailes Owen area.
Yeah.
So he won the first race with a grandson of him.
For such a small loft, I just can't emphasise the results. Sprinting, ace pigeons in the Feds, Shropshire Fed and Gloucester Fed you're racing.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't do it for Gloucester Fed, it's Shropshire Fed.
Shropshire Fed, yeah.
Ace pigeons, sprint, he's won National Flying Club, he's won BBC. Where was BBC from now?
4 years.
Were it racing BBC when you sent only about 6 ends and took first 3 in open?
Yeah, that was it, since 7.
Sent 7 ends, took first 3, section and open
Yeah,
from
4 years.
Pigeons.
So the other 2, yeah, they're all in there, the ends are. There's one of each. A Van Leen, a Stefan Lambrecht, which is out of Henk, she won it. And then there was a daughter of Cosmo, was 3rd, but she landed on my head. She should have won it, but she landed on my head. That's where we really worry at. Instead of going in there, she landed on me bloody head. I'm stood here, right? I'm joking. I'm stood here, and they were coming here, right? And they went, come on, and this bloody pigeon went straight on my head. The other 2 went on here and went in, and I went, get off, right? And so she went, she's 3rd, but since then she's broke her wing. When they put the bunting up for the nurses, she flew around there and broke her wing. She's in there, she can't fly anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
she flew into bunting for nurses during lockdown. I don't know. But yeah, you can't fail to be impressed. Again,
That's why I wear this now, because of me head.
like his scratches all over his head.
They'll do it now if I go in there as well.
Yeah. But yeah, you can't fail to be impressed really. Such a small loft, and again, he don't bang his own drum, which is why when I mentioned a year or 2 ago about Michael Lovelock up where I am, people asked who we were, but they don't ask anymore because they know.
The success is only on the day.
The success is only on the day, yeah. I know. But you have quite a lot of good days.
Sometimes.
How'd you get on with all them sheep pigeons here?
Well, I invite them to come down now. But they don't want to come, they don't like me corn.
There's a lot of street pigeons as well.
There's a
so
lady feeds them down there.
yeah, there's quite a
They're a
lot.
bit of a nuisance with my young ones, as I told you, because the peregrines here quite often.
Yeah, gets a lot of trouble with peregrine. So yeah, that's the last stock cock we'll show. He's got a few others. Well, he only keeps a small loft, and as he said, he keeps a small loft of breeders that he's kind of forming his own family around him, and he can rely on them. So that's Stefan Lambrecht. 4 sons of him in race loft, which we'll show you. All been in top
Yeah, well,
2 or 3 at Fed.
yeah, I'll put the one in the stock loft now.
Oh, he put one in.
Yeah,
because he's been breeding him, hasn't he?
He's bred a Fed winner.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Right, what we got, Michael?
Now, this is father of two-tone, also father of the first section J 5th Open National this year.
This year, yeah.
And there's another blue hen which as a young bird last year topped the federation, but unfortunately the hawk had her this year and she didn't perform very well, so she's going to get another 12 months to see how she goes on.
Yeah.
Back in the race team. But this is line bred to Rossi again. Seem to do all right, these Rossi pigeons do, as it happened here. But he's not a big pigeon, but he's nice shape.
Yeah.
Got what, his muscles have got a bit yet, but I reared up him a bit late this year, so
And he's the father of two-tone.
Yeah, and the end that was first section J, fifth open in the first first national this year.
Yeah, because you scored high up in, was it the first two nationals?
Yeah, first and eighth.
First
One's a son out of the Kurt Cock, and the other was a daughter out of him.
We'll show you two-tone in Race Loft. It's called two-tone, you'll see why. One wing is red and the other one's a checker, blue checker. Quite a strange pigeon, but what's two-tone one?
He's had first fed, 3/4 fed,
3/4 fed,
a fifth fed and a sixth fed.
A fifth fed and a sixth fed. So, again, as I've said before, a lot of pigeons in this country don't get the accolades they deserve. But I'm sure if you looked abroad and a pigeon had had the first fed or first provincial, whatever they call them, first fed, 3/4 feds, the fifth fed and a sixth fed, you know, people would be falling over themselves to throw money at these people. And that's what two-tones had, the son of this pigeon.
And his daughter as well, yeah.
And I think a child of two-tone that he gave young Luke Bunny in Barnsley.
Oh, has he got?
I think he scored with one.
Oh, well,
You let him have one.
Yeah, he did, but I don't know what he didn't say what happened.
Yeah,
I haven't spoken to him
he scored with him. I'll ring him up in a bit.
Alright.
Yeah, these Rossi pigeons do well for you, don't they, Michael?
Here's another son out of another pigeon, old pigeon, a Rossi cock. Went paid to a jackpot hen, again I can pigeons.
Yeah, yeah.
But he bred me a fed winner last year, a blue cock that's in there. Well, I put him in there because it was a stay-at-home cock, so he's never been really bred off.
It would just fit widower hens.
And,
Michael does use stay-at-home partners these days, don't he?
Yeah, well I always have done. That's the way that my friend showed me when I went to.
Yeah, when you just race hens.
Yeah.
That's how you started with it. Hens stay-at-home cocks,
Yeah.
and hens at home for
Yeah.
cocks as well. What does your race team consist of, numbers-wise?
Well, this year, old birds I had 10, 11 old cocks, and then I had 7 yearling hens, but unfortunately that got down to 3 at the end of the season, and I ended up with 10 old cocks.
So we started off 11 cocks, 7,
9 hens.
9 hens.
Yeah.
So that's 20 in total.
Yeah.
20 in total.
They were down to 17 after about 2 weeks because I lost a couple. Well, I didn't send the first 2 races because I was in hospital.
Yeah.
But
the first race you did send to when you come out of hospital.
Yeah.
What did you do when it fed?
I was 5th, 6th and 7th fed or something like that.
Yeah. In hospital, didn't race for 2 weeks and did that. And the week after, was it first 3?
I think it was first 3. Yeah.
First 3 ain't fed then. Week after.
And a couple of weeks later, I had the first 3 again. And then two-tone topped the fed, and then in another week he was 6th fed this year. I can't remember without looking.
Unbelievable.
And of course, the ends I sent to the national. The first one I think I sent 7, but I only got 4 back. But the one was first section J 5th open, which was nice.
Yeah.
And then the next race was the second national race. I sent the son and daughter out of the Kurt Cock, and they were 2nd and 10th section J, and he was 8th open. I think the cock was. I don't know where the end was. I can't remember.
Yeah. So whether it's channel or sprint, inland, you just can't knock them. Right, Michael, this is where you race your hens.
Yeah, as you can see.
Nothing special, as you've said. Just explain. Obviously, you've got in Loft now the stay-at-home cocks.
Yeah, you know, these cocks, all these cocks in here are bred out of the stock pigeons. Their sons and daughters of either one or the other of the stock pigeons, with the exception of one cock there, which is an import from my friend Charlie in Scotland.
Yeah.
But all these pigeons are out of the original stock pigeons from Iacams. And what I do is I breed some for myself and I keep them in here, pair them to me race hens, which will be 12 hopefully this year. And if they breed something decent, then obviously they'll be moved. But my basic system in here is just, this is a nesting box. When they finish rearing the youngster, which I don't normally rear up them, but I did last year. The box is closed like that, And the hens sit on there.
Just sits on that corner.
That's it. And I mean, there are different ways of putting your hens, locking them up and whatever else, but the man that showed me how to raise hens when I was in Belgium for 4 years, all he said to me was, as I've said before, is that your best hens don't pair up. Obviously people can say, oh you're wrong, but I found it to be true. Your very best hens, they don't pair up, they're not looking at another, they don't look at another hen. They're always waiting for they come back to the cock, or sometimes they come back to me.
Yeah.
But I haven't got the room to make extra perches, lock them up or whatever else, so I have to do it the way I do it, and it seems to work sometimes it doesn't. That's Pigeons though, isn't it? That's really all there is to it, there's nothing more else I can say.
On a Friday, motivation wise, just show them the cocks, or?
The first couple of races, the cocks come in here and they see them, but after that I just turn the bowl up and let them into it.
Let them in.
Because it's a lot of messing about, going and catching them and bringing them in here, so I'm idle. Just let them in. And then Saturday when they come back, the cock will be waiting for them, but on a Friday night sometimes you're a bit pushed for time, you think, oh, just turn the bowl up, and that's it.
Doesn't make any difference.
You've got to make it as simple as you possibly can, because it's only a sport, it's only a hobby. I mean, as I say, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Nobody's perfect, so we'll see. But,
if I remember rightly, the roof obviously, as you can see, is timber. I think that just above box is there an inch or so gap there.
Yeah.
And that's like, other than that. So you've got a little drill.
Down there, comes in there, goes out there.
Comes in there, and it goes out. You just see a gap there at the top of the box. And it just sucks it up there. And it's a lovely loft.
Remembering there's only a few pigeons and there'll only be 12 in here. So, I mean, there's 12 now cocks, but they won't be in here when the hens are.
Yeah.
When I'm getting them ready to start racing, they'll be finished. The only time it's slightly is it will be overcrowded when there's 24 here cocks and hens and maybe youngsters. Well, there will be this year. I'm going to try rearing youngsters, but I'm going to try this year for the first time racing 2-year-old hens, but there's only going to be 3. So we'll see how it goes. I mean,
because it's normally just been yearling hens,
oh
isn't it?
yeah,
just yearling hens.
Well, again, my teacher, my friend, when he showed me what to do, basically, it was, yearlings were great for him, and they've been great for me, so I can't really argue the point with anybody else. Other people have got different systems, I do what I do.
Exactly.
Ready?
Yeah, go on.
Go on, Michael, how do you feed your hens?
Top secret.
Never.
So this is Michael's cocks. We do a cock section now. Or loft, should I say? They are separate lofts. How many's in here, Michael?
At the moment there's 26 because there's 2 pigeons for the auction in here.
Yeah.
They're cocks, and there's 2 pigeons I want to put in the stock loft, and there's one that I'm not very happy with, so he's probably not going to be here.
He's on death row, is he?
I don't know why, but he just don't look right. But there's my cocks. Anything that hasn't got a green ring on is an old pigeon, obviously.
Yeah.
But the 10 old ones, they're here somewhere. They're all first prize winners.
Yeah.
That's the cock up there, which was first club, second Shropshire fed, and then the following week first club, third Gloucester fed.
So second fed, third fed in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 different feds.
2 different feds.
And he's out of the Golden Rossi cock.
Yeah.
There's the yearling cock, which is a brother to them again, which is unofficial best pigeon in the fed this year.
Best sprint pigeon. It is sprint pigeon in the Shropshire fed.
That's another one. This cock here is out of this checker, which is he's only young this year. No, sorry, he's a brother to them too. He hasn't won hardly anything, but he went to the Guernsey, which was a bad race, and he came the next day. So he's not because he. Oh,
Go on, carry on. That's me.
Then. Where's the other blue cock? Oh, this blue cock here this is a brother to the check. He's his brother. He's out of Golden Rossi again. He's had 2 first feds.
So he's at Golden Rossi, 2 first fed winner.
Yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, whatever he is. There's 4 pigeons in off Golden Rossi. 3 of them have been in the first 3 or 4 in the fed a couple of times. And then that great big blue in there is a son of Henk when paired to the daughter of the power of Stefan Lambert. Again, I swapped him over last year and bred his first club 7th fed. He was. And then there's 2 sons of Little Faith in here from this year, which I'll put in. There's 2-tone there.
Yeah, we'll have a look at him in a minute.
That's the cock off the Kirk cock. He was 8th open in the national.
8th Open National Flying Club, blue cock.
That blue cock is another one from the DiCaprio. That's a DiCaprio. That checker's DiCaprio. I don't know where he is. There's another one here. Oh, and this cock is out. This cock is was paired to Little Faith this year. This blue cock here. I raced him as a youngster. He's still got his ETS, you know. But there's 3 of his sons in here going into the race team. There's one over there. That's off Little Faith. The other, there's 1 cock in there. I put by. He's the biggest one of them all. In for the sale. He's over the road. That's another one off Little Faith, I think.
The checker?
No, the blue one. That checker cock there is a full brother to those 3 Golden Rossi cocks. He's the one I put in. See, he's got a yellow ring on.
Yeah.
He will be the only pigeon now or ever to go off that pair from me. Because
pigeon, last pigeon ever.
He will be, because I just can't let him go, because they're starting to. There's another pigeon from the DiCaprio line, but that's his son. His father's the son out of DiCaprio put in there now. So he's out of them.
Yeah.
So basically, I've got 3 or 4. All the pigeons in here are out of 3 or 4, or go back to 3 or 4 cocks now. So we'll wait and see. That was the last youngster off Cosmo, that blue one there.
Yeah.
But he's missing his eggs now, so obviously he's got to move. And then there's obviously the missus's favourite there.
Which one's Mrs.'s favourite?
2-tone.
2-tone?
Oh, yeah, he is.
I was just showing you windows. The ventilator windows as well. Polycarbonate at the top. Lovely and light. You get warm in summer.
Oh, sometimes too hot. But I see I've got floor grounds in there. The thing is that I've knocked some corn over this morning. But I put floor grounds underneath these things because I find it keeps it nice and dry, right? And I don't have to clean them out every week. Only when the boxes, or I just get the boxes out and just do it across the top there. But this, for me, is great.
Is it the Versalager?
Yeah, this
granules?
is Versalager granules.
You just sprinkle them underneath.
Just sprinkle them underneath. It dries everything up.
Keeps it bone dry.
Yeah.
Very good. So we've got 2-tone then, Michael.
Oh yes. The Mrs.'s favourite. If anything ever happens to him, I think she'll murder me. She wants me to stop racing him, but I've got nowhere to put him at the moment because, as you see, me stock loft ain't big enough. But
well, a lot of people having a first fed, 3, 4 feds, 5th fed, 6th fed, it'd probably be already been stock loft.
I think you'll find there's about 4 or 5 different fed winners in here. But I mean, today you've got to be somewhere in the fed to show. It's no good with being, as I say, a big fish in a small pond. You don't want to try and win your club, you want to try and win your fed when you can. This is him, this is his favourite. She nicknamed him 2-tone. We used to have a card which was 2-tone. I didn't. But he's had first fed, 3 4th feds, a 5th fed and a 6th fed, and he's like only 2-year-old now. But when I can find him a place to go in the stock loft, I will do, but until then he's got to keep going, unfortunately for him. Well, it might be unfortunately for me if I lose him. I'm doing my own dinner again. But, that's him. He's a lovely bit pigeon, like. Sometimes when you go to the club, you put his leg, he'll stick his leg out on his own.
Ready to put it in
ready to
ETS.
put it in the ETS. But he just goes, "Doops." That's it. That's him.
Loft wise then, Michael, I know you said there's a few too many pigeons in here now than what
Well, I'd say
than what you would normally have.
Yeah.
But so when you've got your cocks in,
Well, obviously, I'll breed off these this year first of all.
yeah,
They won't all be here. There's 2 or 3 of them got to go.
yeah,
Because when they finish the molt, when they go through the molt, if they're not almost perfect, which I'm not an expert, but for me it's got to be what I want, then they can stay. I mean, there's a cock there that got hawked last year. He might have to come out of it now because he flies, but he just can't keep up with the rest of them. That's that blue. But he's had he's had the Dion pigeon. Well, he's already bred a winner. Not for me, but someone else. I gave 2 youngsters to the lad, and he's won with his. So what do I do with them? I haven't got enough room to keep hundreds of pigeons. So, and there's one there I don't think is going to make the grade, so he might have to go. So there's 2, and there's that one over there's in the sale. In fact, there's 2, might be 2 in here. I can't remember. That checker cock there is a brother to all the top pen winners.
So when they're racing, we'll talk about feed while we have a coffee, but do you show the ends? You rear off them, don't you?
Yeah, I reared off the cocks. I didn't used to rear off my hens until this year. It's the first time I've always let them sit and then leave them. But my friend that used in Belgium again, he used to let his hens rear the youngsters when they're about 14 days old for maybe a week. But I don't do that because I just haven't. But so I'd say it's something else to try maybe later if things start going either bad or worse, whichever way they're going to go. And then,
You show ends on a Friday then?
in the beginning, yes, but the old cocks, they know what they're doing.
Game.
They know the game. It's only the yearlings, and the yearlings get too excited anyhow. So
Yeah.
again, it's what everybody's different. I mean, some people tell you this, some people tell you that. You've got to just get a happy medium that works for you.
Do you train them back to ends initially, particularly for yearlings?
Well,
before
I do. I trained last year. They had, because I got this thing again. Is my friend Astor, with his hens especially, he used to train them three times at 30 kilometres, which isn't very far, right? And into the race, but the hens race every week, whereas he didn't race cocks, so I can't tell you about cocks. But what I find is the pigeons need to be flying, exercising at home before you even think about sending them down the road. Because if they're not flying at home, then there's something not right. That's my opinion. And I don't know. I say I'm not an expert. I just do what I do. But it's common sense. If you don't feel very well, you're not going to get up and go to work, are you? So they need to be out and exercising before they start wanging them down the road in the basket, from my opinion. Because if they're not flying right, then there's obviously something wrong.
We'll talk about feeding and medication, what you use, and your supplements that you've been successful on. We'll have a look at Michael's young bird shed now, brand new. He just made it.
Well,
It says somebody used to take mick out of his little shed, but why did you build this then, Michael?
Because a certain bloke with the name of Gibson came here and he kept talking about my old shed. So I thought, right, I've had enough of this. After 2 years, I'm going to make myself something that looks a bit better, so I have. And that's it.
Let's have a look then, come on. Plenty of hair in here, isn't there?
Oh yeah. So this is where I got my hens and a couple of 3 late breds and some of the pigeons for the sale. There's various pigeons in here. There's 2 national winners, and that's the daughter of. She was 10th section J. I can't remember what she was in the Open. Off the Kirk cock.
The blue white feather there.
This is the mother of Two Tone. Now she's not from my account. She was a pigeon I bought out of a sale because it was a red, and I bought it for the wife.
Vandenbolt that, isn't it?
She is basically a Vanderbilt, coming down from Marcel Sangers and Stephen Lamb. No, Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
But she's the mother of Two Tone and the first section J. And generally, if she breeds them, the cocks, they're always red. In fact, there's one down there which is for the sale this time. Yeah.
So that red pigeon there, is he a brother?
He's a full brother to Two Tone.
And he's going in sale? He's
going in the sale. He's going to be a nice big cock. See, they were bred later because I bred them after I had my hawk attack. The first ones I bred, which was only like 6 or 8, I had to put in here because I got no youngsters. So unfortunately, I had to breed a second round, which are them. And then that blue end's in the sale. I can't remember what she's up. This is the end from my account this time.
Oh, is that your new purchase?
That's my new purchase. And then
what lines is she again? Sorry, your new
she's,
purchase.
Again, the given lines off down from the board. This pigeon I call it a bit the smoky blue end down from Eva, and the blue whip pen. It's small. I don't like great big pigeons. They seem to grow bigger after a while.
And when will you open your little slider here then?
Oh, top secret.
Yeah, alright.
When it gets too hot.
When it gets too hot, that'll come open. But the rest of the roof inside is plied, and then all this in the aviary area. So this is your new purchase, Michael?
Yes, this is a hen I had from my account a few months ago. She's out of a winning hen. I just looked at the pedigree, I looked at the pigeon, I thought, oh, it's alright. I spoke with Hank and he told me it was alright. So I had it. That's it.
What's she going to be paired to this time?
I'm not quite sure yet. She'll probably... I might even possibly pair it to Hank. Because he's been with 2 different hens or 3 different hens now and bred winners with different hens. The hens that he's been paired to, well, there's the pigeon I call the hen, which he's normally paired to her. In fact, there's a youngster in there off her. That checker white flight, and that's where the white flight comes from.
Yeah.
But I say, we'll have to wait and see. And then, this is another one off from this year, off Hank and a hen, a checker Pigeon.
A checker pied?
And it's a hen. Oh, there's the other one there, so I'll get it in.
And when was last time you bred one a checker pied enough?
2018 she's there, first open British Barcelona 4 years. But she's bred some decent pigeons as well.
First open British Barcelona club from Pigeons, and then several years later you've got another check pied.
And there's one in there, a cock in the other place, which is going in the sale.
Yeah. Which,
if I'd have realised, I wouldn't have put him in. But I bred him for you, so that's me and you talking.
Yeah.
And then here, this is the hen, which this is a hen from De Reuters again. But her son was paired to Little Face this year. But this is the hen that's bred with Dave Madison.
Yeah. Is that the one that's going back up to Dave?
I'm going to lend her back to him because he's a good bloke, is Dave, and hopefully it'll improve some of my chances later. So she's going back, but she's, I say, bred the 3rd best. That's the daughter of Little Faith from this year.
Yeah. So this hen is the hen that bred the 3rd best ace pigeon in NEHU?
Yeah, this year, yeah.
3rd ace?
Yeah.
Possibly, with a bit of a discrepancy in coefficient.
Well, I don't know. I don't get into that. Right, but
yeah, but officially 3rd.
Yeah, officially 3rd. Right. That's it. Bit of Kittle in a bit of Leo Hermans.
Yeah.
Nice eye. And then
And he's taking that up when you go to Doncaster.
He's going to bottle it again, yeah.
What's this one, this red cock? This red cock here?
That red cock's a red hen. That's my Mrs.
Oh, is it an hen? Show pigeon.
Show pigeon.
Yeah, looks like a big cock, doesn't it?
Yeah, I bought 2 out of a sale, and because my missus likes pigeons, so I bought 2 red, but the cock got out and never come back.
Yeah.
But this is Pam, first out, British Barcelona 4 years national, daughter of Henk and the hen. She's already produced me a couple of decent pigeons, and just wait and see now but she's normally, when it's just me and her, she'll sit on, well, she might even do it now,
Yeah.
she'll sit on here. There you are. Come on, come on. And then, what else? Oh, this is the mother little thing, mother daughter tank. This is the one that went up to Yorkshire for a year.
Yeah. That's the one that Pat had, isn't it?
Yeah, she's got an eye now, apparently.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Pat's they were a bit struck by this end, the mother to the national winner. And Pat Halliwell's been breeding from her this year. And that blue end there, Michael, you say, that's a daughter.
That's a daughter, little Faith, from this time.
Daughter, little Faith.
Well, I bred 6 off her to race, and you see, she's only got a rubber on because I sent her to a race. She only had 1 race, and I said to the, I don't want a clock. I says, I'm only sending them as trainers, and she come better than the rest of them. So as it happened, but it doesn't matter. It's only a bit of fun, isn't it? And then what we got here? I'll just show you. Oh yeah. This is the sister to Two Tone. This is the hen that was first Section J, 5th Open in the National.
5th Open National Flying Club this year.
I don't know. I can't remember. But 5,500 pigeons.
For Jay's on my sack.
For Jay's, it'd be the first one, wouldn't it? This is her. Again, one of
Full
them.
sister to Two Tone.
Yeah. Out of that red pie then, went fair to the Rossi cock, another Rossi pigeon.
She bred you some good pigeons, that red hen, hasn't she?
Oh, she hasn't. Yeah. It's cheap as chips and all.
Well, they're sometimes the best ones, aren't they?
Yeah. And then,
What?
Here's another. No, that's not her. This is a hen out of Cosmo. She's going in the stock off with her cock now out the race team.
Yeah.
Because she's her mother's up there. This is this blue hen here, Stefan Lambrecht.
Yeah.
Paired to Elia Wormans, and this hen was already bred a winner. Well, beaten by his own son.
Yeah.
So we'll see when
See what she breeds this time.
yeah, she's got a decent eye.
A lot of them have got good eyes, these, haven't they? Perfect. I've just picked a slaty hen out that I'm very familiar with, which I had in my loft earlier this year, which Michael kindly loaned me. This hen is a direct William de Bruin, Michael, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's a cracking hen. Bought from Blackpool, I think she will, ain't she?
Yeah.
When Les had some William de Bruin pigeons in. No expense spared, I believe, as well. She's a cracking hen. I've got some young birds out of her that did well. Can't remember off the top of the head what lines is on pedigree, but she is a class pigeon from William de Bruin's best lines. Paired her to one of my cocks and some cracking youngsters from her as well. I like that hen. Direct William de Bruin. No expense spared with that one, I can assure you.
Yeah.
Right, while Michael's locking his sheds up before we go for a coffee. I just thought I'd sneak in here where all the magic happens. Here's a Cest Farmer user. As you know, if you've seen the video that they did when they came over, the blue salts. He's a big believer in Bruges yeast, is Michael. Uses a lot of Bruges yeast. What's that? Collivet.
That's not yours. That's an experiment.
Oh, that's an experiment, he says. What's this? Oh, NPH Fortitude. Uses that as well, same as Richard Wade. Energy, endurance and sound health. That's good. Made by myself, obviously. So, he don't use a lot. I thought I'd come and have a butcher's. He's caught me looking, but that's him. Not a lot at all. Hardly anything, Michael, is there? Feed. What's your feed this time of year, Michael?
Cheapest I can get.
The cheapest you can get.
Within reason.
Some sunflower hearts in there, and is that just a basic, like all round?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And there you go. Very basic. Bit of grit. What else magic potions do you use, Michael?
Cocoa Pops.
Right, we've come inside. We've just had a coffee and some cake that Michael's better half has made us. We always get cake when we come, don't we?
Oh, aye, man.
Yeah. We're going to speak about feeding, supplements and a bit of medication that you may use as and when. So we'll go from breeding. Do you prepare your old birds with anything special, supplement wise, feed wise, prior to pairing?
No.
No.
They're only vaccinated for paramix, so they'll be done in end of November, beginning of December. As soon as the big molt's finished, they'll be done.
Yeah.
And then obviously I'll introduce the stock pigeons together. I'm going to pair a bit earlier this year. I'm going to try and go back to December the 10th. I used to pair up December the 10th, but I'm going to do it this year because I want a few more youngsters. Because I only had 25 last year on my own. So I'm going to try and get a few more this year. Try and get up to about 40, maybe 50 if I'm lucky. But that'll be enough.
50?
Yeah.
That's a lot for you, isn't it?
Well, it'll be double what I normally have.
Yeah, double.
But I just, the last few weeks, shall we say, or the last couple of weeks before I pair them up, I usually put them on depurative, just because sometimes through the winter, because I don't let them out, they don't go out from September till March or April, they get a bit fat. So I slim them down by feeding basically depurative and diet. And then obviously when it comes round to race pairing, they're paired up, whichever way. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Especially that blooming little face, she hates pairing up. She'll only pair up in the young bird love, she won't go anywhere else, as I've told you before, I think.
Yeah, you have that, yeah.
So, and then once they sort of start to sit, I introduce breed and wean. I feed a lot of breed and wean because I like maple peas. I don't like baked beans, but I like peas because when they start feeding, they're easier to feed. They're not so big for them to regurgitate when they're coming full grown. And I also use growers' chicken pellets, which I've been using since the 1970s because Tommy Lawley from West Bromwich, who's one of the people that I used to go and see when I was a lot younger, used to give pellets. And I said, what are them? And he said, oh, they're pellets. But he didn't tell me that they came from up the road. I used to go all the way to West Bromwich to get them off him. And they only come from up the road, he's 16 miles. But eventually he told me. Well, again, going back to things that I do now, of things I've learnt from other people. I mentioned Tommy Lawley for one.
Yeah.
So I started feeding pellets, and what I found was, if you're pigeons, they need to feed their young as early as possible in daylight. I don't think they feed them when it's dark, I don't know. But if you feed hard corn, they've got to sort of digest it first. I'm not talking about when they're feeding
Yeah.
soft food. I'm talking about when they. So by giving pellets, it's already mashed up. You go straight into them and they're full. Then you can give them hard corn on top of that. That's what I like to do.
Yeah.
So I just feed ordinary chicken pellets, not with any anti-cox in it, just normal growers pellets. And it seems to work. I mean, you can buy the brand name Pigeon pellets, but you're going to pay a lot more money for them. And a lot of people are like me. The pensioners or the young blokes have got mortgages and things like that, or rent to pay.
Tell me about it.
Right? So, I mean, you don't. If you look around and use your mantle, you'll see there are other things that can substitute them, which are just as good as the top price products.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what we do for breeding. Basically breeding wean, and I wean my youngsters off on breeding
Any
wean.
products while you're rearing?
Well, I started using this amino forte about once a week when I'm rearing. I don't give them anything else.
Yeah.
Like
In water or on feed?
Well, it's always been in the water, but I've decided now it's going to go on the feed.
Yeah.
Because it
Because
starts to make a little bit
yeah.
inside the trough, like
You
so.
put it on feed
Yeah,
and let it dry.
let it dry. So that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. It just means I've got to mix a bucket of corn the day before and let it dry a little bit, but that's the way it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And just that once a week.
Just once a week, and then obviously when the youngsters, depending on whether it's me hen's loft or me cock's loft, as you see, I haven't got a lot of pigeons, but
Yeah.
me hens will be, the youngsters, this year I'm going to rear off them. I did rear a couple last year, but this year I'm going to let them rear, and the youngsters will go on the floor and the hens will finish them off, the cocks will be gone.
You put all the youngsters on floor there.
Yeah,
and they're all
yeah. Well, that's the way
yeah.
my friend Asta used to do his.
Yeah.
And it keeps the hens occupied, but and obviously they start going out then and they come back to the youngster for a while because the cock's isn't there. And if you do it before the cock starts to chase or they come into egg again, it helps a little bit, I think. I'm not sure, I'll say I'm not an expert, I only do what I do. And then my cocks, well, they're like boys, you can treat them a bit rougher than the hens, can't you? Because hens are girls and cocks are boys, so yeah, they'll rear the youngsters. I'll take the hens away and let them rear the youngsters, because they that's what they normally do, they start. And that's it. And then I put them onto a, shall we say, a widowwood mixture, which is probably going to be Versal Lager from Davenport. But only having a few pigeons, you don't have to buy so much these days, because I mean the price of corn, as everybody knows, is gone up. Unless you're a millionaire, it doesn't matter. So I will buy. I don't know which one yet. When I see it, I'll buy it, because I have to look at it first to see what it's like. But I will buy a widowwood type corn. I will also buy some depurative, because I'm into depurative, but it's got to be a nice one. The barley's got to be something like.
Yeah.
And I'll also get some, what do you call it? I forgot the bloody name of it now. Diet. Yeah, so there's the three basics. Yeah.
You use your diet as like your fats effectively, because it's full of fat in it.
Yeah, so I mean, once they start to fly again, as I said before, if they're not flying right here, there's no point in taking them down the road. Because if they're coming out, going round once they're coming down again, there's got to be something wrong. I mean, anybody, well I would have thought anybody, if they let their pigeons out, they sort of go, whether it's for 30 minutes or 1 hour, then they're ready. But if they're not doing that, there's got to be something not quite right. And I don't know, I can't answer now because I haven't got, at the moment, there's nothing I can tell you that's going to be any different. But I mean, hens, well, they're magic. Once they've sort of been separated, they'll go out. And in fact, I can honestly tell you, sometimes you get fed up of them, because they'll just go off. They're range like youngsters, and they're good. I've had them gone for up to 2 hours the most. And in the end, I just get fed up and I just go open the trap and go. If I've got to go shopping, I'll go shopping.
And what's your feed for hens then? Is it lighter than the cock?
Yeah, it's a lot lighter than the cocks. I like that Gabby van der Bielen mix. It's got a lot of maize, no protein.
From Bayes.
From Bayes, yeah, I quite like that. I will sometimes, depending on what the race was like at the weekend. Remember the first few races are only like 100 mile.
Yeah.
Right, but once
I
you
wish
get
our first races were 100 mile.
right, once you get to sort of Wales, is 150 mile.
Yeah.
If they start in like 4 or 5 hours, then I might consider thinking, hang on, well, they must have used a bit of muscle up, put a bit more back in, so I'll put a bit of breed and wean in it.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously, my favourite is brewer's yeast, which I've mentioned many times
Big
before.
lover of brewer's yeast. He has it on his toast for breakfast.
And Cocoa Pops. But now this is the secret.
We'll
right?
tell you, these are used in young bird racing.
Right.
Believe it or not, we'll tell you that in a bit.
And anyhow, there's basically that's it. But at the end of the day, you need to look at your pigeons. You need to see what condition they're in, whether it's by handling them or by just looking at them. And most pigeon fanciers, I would imagine, can see the signs whether they're in condition or not in condition by just looking at the pigeon on its perch or on its box. And you'll see them little down feathers come out when they come into some kind of form. You turn them over, their skin's nice and clean. And it's preferably they don't start molting in April. That's one of the reasons I've never bred off my hens before, because I didn't want to molt. But I tried a couple last year and they seemed to be alright. So again, you move on, don't you? There will be people who are got bigger teams than me with race hens and say, oh, I'm talking a load of rubbish, but I can only do what I do in my little back garden.
And it works.
And it does work. I mean, I've got 2 classic winners in my loft, and there ain't many back garden lofts can say that I know of.
Well, one's above your head, is that First National Flying Club,
And the other one's
and
above
the other
it.
one is above First BICC
4 years.
Frigiers.
So, as I say, that's it really. I mean, I'm not much of a big talker. I don't know even why I'm doing this. You better cut that bit out.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
So, but
How many? We mentioned Wayne Jones earlier, who does the
Wayne.
unofficial
oh yeah.
ace pigeons in Shropshire
Yeah.
Fed. Last year, without looking on my phone, I think Old Birds, I think you got second ace, something like that.
This last year, yeah. This year went 23. Yeah. The pigeon that is unofficial ace pigeon is a yearling from last year, and he was second ace pigeon last year, but I had a
Yeah.
few in last year.
You had loads in,
Yeah.
particularly with young birds to the old shed.
Yeah, the old
Right.
shed. Thanks,
Unbelie-
mate.
Unbelievable, that old shed.
Yeah.
I used to say to you, they won national, they took first 12 in Fed or whatever, and I used to think, how are they doing it? And now he's got rid of it.
Well, I got so fed up with this Chris here complaining about me shed.
I didn't complain, you go to places and look at the lofts and how they are, and and I used to think, Jesus Christ, how are these pigeons doing what they're doing? Obviously good pigeons, and he's built a lovely new shed now. I just hope that they continue winning to it, otherwise I'll not be welcome anymore.
Well,
But-
plus the fact that he told you cake.
Oh, I have cake. But yeah, ace pigeons last year, young birds in Shropshire Fed, absolutely plastered it.
Yeah.
First, second, third, fifth, sixth, and so on. And ace sprint pigeon this year in Fed, as well as winning National Flying Club. In fact, he was in hospital, we've mentioned it briefly before, he was in hospital for first 2 weeks of this season,
Yeah.
and then he come out and he, what were you, third, fourth, fifth Fed?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And that week after, he was first, second, third, first 3 in Fed.
Yeah.
He'd been in hospital 2 weeks, pigeons had not done out, and then he goes and does that.
Yeah. It's quite funny this, because when they took me into hospital, they sent me for a brain scan. And I said to this nurse, you must be joking, I haven't got a brain.
Got pigeons.
Got pigeons.
Pigeons, none of us have got a brain.
It didn't happen.
So, touch on supplements. And I'm not doing it just because I'm involved with cest. I'm not doing it for that. That's yours, by the way.
Well, thank you very much.
Supplements. It don't matter if they're cest. What do you use? I know you make your own garlic oil up.
Yeah, I make my own garlic oil, sunflower oil and garlic crushed.
Yeah.
Keep them in a beer bottle.
Yeah. Rose bottle with lid on.
And
So
then,
sunflower oil, crushed up garlic.
Yeah.
How many cloves?
I just put a whole one in.
The whole big bulb, crushed up
and
in a
it's-
bottle
and when
with
you open it, it'll
sunflower.
knock your head off for the first few times.
Sunflower oil and garlic.
Yeah.
Left.
Left for about a week, and then it just it matures, doesn't it? And they have all the sediment in the bottom, but that doesn't matter.
So it's like an energy oil as well because of sunflower oil.
Yeah.
Is that what you use when you put bruised yeast on?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Your street pigeons want him feeding it.
I'll get him in a minute.
You've got a pet street pigeon as well, dark white feather.
Yeah, probably a long distance pigeon.
You have to try him. Tabs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So garlic oil, what else? Bruised yeast.
Brewer's yeast. What did I use? Amino 40 this year, which is new to me since I met you.
Yeah.
And what's the other stuff? Oh God. That Sedicol. I put a bit of Sedicol on the corn once a week sometimes, because you need to see them little down feathers coming out. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but everything helps. I don't use any antibiotics or stuff like that, because you only need to treat sick pigeons, and fortunately for me, touch wood, I haven't had any real sick pigeons for a couple of 3 years. So I can't say that I use antibiotics in any way, and if I did, then our vet now that does our CPH for the water channel racing, he actually has got birds, and his dad used to raise pigeons. His name's James, and so he did say to us, if we have any problems, or to me, just get in touch. He said, if I can help you out with something, I will do. So my vet is now, because he likes pigeons, he's interested.
Yeah.
But so if I got a problem, I'll just go to him now, because he's into birds.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. But fortunately, as I say, I haven't had to use anything like that for quite a long time. But we'll see, because you never know what's around the corner, do you?
Young birds, same kind of feeding?
Yeah, young birds again. Start off on breed and wean. I do give them chicken pellets again. But later I will ease off. First of all, I feed them breed and wean because I don't want them to fly till they're all about. Because if you've got different ages, which I had this year because I've been in hospital, they were all different ages. So they were all a bit fat or heavy. So I like them up again with diet and depurative. And then gradually I'll move them on to a lighter diet, which has probably got a bit amazing. But they need to start flying again. Before anything else, they need to fly. If they're not flying at home, it's only me again saying this, but they need to fly. If they don't fly, because that's what they're made to, is fly. Yeah. So lighten the feed, make them have it. Last year, not so much this year, because I had a terrible time with that sparrow, the peregrine.
Yeah.
But because when I started training them this year, they'd come out the basket and look around first before they'd even come out. They'd stick a couple of them and run back in the basket, and then mine go up in the sky. But going back to the year before, which is last 2022, these youngsters, I let them out here and they just go. And I wouldn't see them for an hour, sometimes hour and a half. It was unbelievable. But it just happened, and they flew exceptionally well. But I tried basically the same thing, but the only difference was that last year's youngsters were all of the same age group, all born within a few weeks or a couple of weeks of each other. This year they were one from like February, one from March, one from April, and I thought, oh God, and then I was ill.
It's a nightmare. I've done it myself. Well, we all have. We all say we're never going to do it again, and it just holds them back, doesn't it? Well, last year were just exceptional for you young birds.
So as I say, light them up. Once they start to want to go, it's time to make them go. But apart from that, there's not a lot. As I say, there's people that do so many different things, and What I'm saying in my church is a load of rubbish, but it just works for me.
It's
That's all I
just
can tell
it's
you.
what you do and you get results doing it, so that's all I can say.
I can't say any more than that. I mean, I've had pigeons since I was 9-year-old, and I've been in some really great company, and I say one of the biggest, shall we say, inspirations early in my life was Tommy Lawley from West Bromwich. Then later, I got to meet Albert Bennett. Albert Bennett lived down the road here, but Albert basically took me under his wing for 2 or 3 years and became good friends. But I was never interested in flying over 500 miles or 450 maybe. After that, it's still not my scene. Stan Walker from Bloxwich, he bred breakaway for Ron Green. Stan and I used to be great friends years ago, so I had an apprenticeship with these people. And then obviously when I went to Belgium, and I never raced hens before that, met Astor and Rick Cools, and I came back and raced a few hens the first time, and they did really well. Then I had to pack them in again, obviously, because I was going and working away. Tried again with a few, seemed to do alright. So that's the way it is. And I race a few cocks. I like racing cocks. It's easy to race cocks. It's to race hens sometimes, because but they'll tell you when they're ready. The hens will just look at you and say, I've got you. So
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell with a cock a lot more than an hen.
Yeah. So let's say pigeons racing is an apprenticeship basically. I mean, some people are lucky enough to be able to jump into it and win straight away, and others just have to come up the slow way, like the majority of us. But those wins are well worth it then, because you've tried. Some people it comes natural to, some people it takes a bit longer, doesn't it? And that's pigeon racing, but as I say, there's not many of them are left now, and most of them are my age, knocking on.
So it's as simple as that, really.
Yeah.
Good pigeons, good lofts. Apart from his White House, his new one, which was the shed, just a simple garden shed with an area up from, and the raced unbelievable. But his lofts, other than that one now, which is a bit fancy, the others are just basic sheds. But as you've seen inside them, the environment he's got absolutely perfect. The pigeons are alright, they're coming through malt there. Some of them still a bit raggy, as you've seen, but the environment they're in just brings condition on, particularly when the sun hits that polycarbonate and warms it up. It's just good quality pigeons in very good health and good order. Very few supplements used. He's got himself a vet now, he's relatively pally with, and he helps. Says he'll help you out whenever you need it. And I don't know, he can't say any more, and I can't either, because I'm always amazed when I come down here. I've been to a lot of lofts, fancy ones and little ones like this in the back garden, and he can compete with it best with an handful of pigeons. And that's all I can say. The video what Cest Farmer did on him emphasises that as well. If you've not seen that, look on Cest Farmer International on Facebook. There's a video of Michael on there.
Stevie Wonder.
And they were very impressed. They asked me who they could go to. And first on my list personally, because of the type of racing I do, were Michael. And Claudio rung me up and he said, I understand why he sent us there. His results with such a small garden loft and a handful of pigeons are just second to none. And it's as simple as that. He's a very humble man, he's very unassuming. He's got a good sense of humour, we have a few laughs. And he does things simple to suit him, but by God does it work. So, thanks for having me again, Michael.
No worries, mate.
It's always a pleasure. Enjoy it very much. And I've got me ordering for some young birds for next season, so I'm happy with that.
I'm doubling his price only to him now.